Okay, so welcome to day two of our sponsoring bootcamp. Hi, yes, I don't know. Of our sponsoring bootcamp, How to Build Your Team in 10 Days. And today we want to talk to you about objections that you might come up against in your business and to help you overcome them. Because my little segment that I'm going to cover with you guys is going for the no. If you are not hearing no in your business, it means no, you're not working your business. And we do understand, like we said yesterday, with all the things that we talked about, this is a skill set that you will need to work on. Anybody that comes into direct sales, network marketing, you know, it's new. You've got to learn these things. And I understand that when people are saying no to you, sometimes, you can take it personally. So drop it in the comments if you've ever had a no or you've ever had somebody like give you an objection in your business and you've literally thought, oh my God, that's it. Well, I'm not good at this. I'm just going to quit or anything or something along those lines. Like, have you ever really, really worried when somebody has given you an objection? More no's than yes. Definitely used to for sure. I did. Like in the beginning, when you start anything new, like it's like the way you've got to think about it is this. The first time you ever get in a car, now if you have a driving license and you drive a car, you just get in your car and you drive without thinking about it. But when you first got in that car all those years ago and you were doing your driving lessons, there was a lot to learn. There was a lot to take on. And it's exactly the same in Sensi. Nobody just knows what to do because of the model that it is. People just think, oh, anyone can do it, and anyone can do it if they're coachable. But it has a skill set like every business, every industry in the world, and understanding that you're going to come across objections is part of that. So if you aren't hearing no in your business, if you are hearing no in your business, sorry, it means that it's a good thing. It means that you're having conversations. It means that you're networking. It means that you're actually asking the question. So it's really, really important to understand that this is something that you can work on and that the more no's that you're having, like we said yesterday, if you keep a log, if you keep a track, eventually those no's are going to turn into yeses. So it's really, really important that you, I don't know, set that as one of your goals for this week is that, do you know what, I'm going to go for 10 no's because actually one of them could turn into a yes. And the second thing I just want to cover before I hand over to one, no, sorry, to one of the other girls is that, oh my God, that's totally just from me. Sorry, no, that's fine. Is that it's not our decision to decide if people are going to want to join. Okay. So it's really, it's human nature to sometimes overthink things and think, oh, well, that person might not want to join because they've got a really good job, or that person might not want to join because they've got a million kids, or that person might not want to join because their husband, they don't need to work. It's not our job to decide whether the sensory opportunity is right for somebody. It's our job to offer that to them. You never know why somebody might want to become a consultant. We obviously do earn an income from this business, which is wonderful, but it's not always about the income for some people. It's about the community, or it's about doing something for themselves, or it's about building their confidence. It's not always about the money. Some people, I know our friend Nicola has just popped into my mind. She loves going on holiday. So she joined for the incentive trips. Like she always wants to go to an incentive trip. There are a million and one reasons why somebody could become a sensory consultant. It's not our job. So if those preconceived ideas in your mind pop in and you think, do you know what? I'm not going to ask that person because one, they might say no, which they might. Or two, they've got a really good job. You need to be a little bit stronger than that little voice in your mind and say, do you know what? I'm just going to ask them because it's not our job to make that decision for them. It's our job to offer them the opportunity. Okay, I think I'm good.
Fab Fab. Who's next?
So I'm next.
I'm going to hand over to Katie.
So I'm going to talk to you guys about how to ask and who to ask. Okay. The first thing I want to say is I still do this. I've been doing this since 2017. So 9 years I've been doing this. And to this day, when I ask people to join, I ask and I get out of if I'm texting them or if I'm on Facebook Messenger, I get out of the bubble because I don't like hearing no and I don't like being ignored. And I always psych myself out. So just tit for tat before I go into what I'm going to say. I pick one day a week to focus solely on sponsoring, meaning my social media posts, my stories, everything lines up with what I'm working on in my business for that day. I work on one thing a day. Thursday is usually my sponsoring day. when I go to have sponsoring conversations, I send what I want to send and I get out that message real quick. Because when I see their face bubble or the little bubbles come up, I still psych myself up, okay? So you just have to do it and get over it because you'll be surprised who says yes. One of my star directors, when I asked her, I didn't even know her. She was a PWS order. And when I asked her, hey, there's a joint special this month. Have you ever thought about getting paid off your own purchases? She said yes, and I thought she was going to say no. You just never know who's going to say yes. And when you that's the cool thing about sponsoring is you really never know who's going to be the person you sponsor that changes your entire business. So all of us still psych ourselves out when we go to have sponsoring conversations. So what I want to talk to you guys about is, number one, talk to people the way you want to be talked to. We ain't trying to send no novels to people because they're not going to read it. Okay, they're going to read the first sentence and then their kid's going to ask for a snack or somebody's going to call them. They're going to get sidetracked. Nobody's going to read novels. You want to talk to people the way that you want to be talked to. Number two, we ain't talking to no strangers. Okay, that's icky. The fun fact that I had a person that asked me for a long time to join and I did not know her. I don't even know how we were Facebook friends, but she gave me the ick. She literally gave me the ick. I had no relationship with her. I had never ordered from her. I had never showed any interest in the product from her. And she sent me a long novel and basically told me, could I join and hit my first promotion so she could earn an incentive trip? And that's how she tried to sponsor me. So it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with her. And I literally for 2 years did not join because she gave me the ick. Now, my sponsor, who's no longer a consultant, there was a warmer that I wanted. It was the Stargaze warmer when it came out. They had a joint special that month. That was $49. The warmer was $50. I had bought from her twice, only Luna. I bought 6 packs of Luna both times. And when I went to go pre-order this warmer from her, she literally said to me, she goes, well, it's $49 to join this month. Why don't you just join and get that warmer and get paid off that warmer? And that's how I joined because it was easy. We have to stop complicating sponsoring conversations. It is not difficult. So, rule of thumb, here we go. Who are we going to talk to? You're going to talk to your host. And guess what? If you ain't got no host, that's a problem. We need to start there before we sponsor. You need hosts every month. Your goal every month should at least have one host a week. That's 4 a month. One host a week. So if you don't have hosts, you need to work on that because hosts are the easiest people to sponsor. The easiest people to sponsor are people that have rocking parties. Easiest people. So if you don't have hosts, you got to start there. Because that's also how you're going to branch out. Even if they decide not to join, they're opening up a brand new customer base to you. So even if they say no, you have people to follow up with that have ordered from their party to build relationships with to eventually sponsor. That's networking. That's growing your customer base. You have to have customers in order to sponsor. If you only got 5 customers, you're never going to sponsor. I say that with a lot of love. But you can only milk the same 5 people, but so much. Your PRV is not going to grow, and you're never going to be able to sponsor. Partying solves 100% of your business problems. Promise. I will die on that hill. It will solve 100% of your business problems. Your PRV will grow, your customer base will grow, and you'll be able to sponsor. So you need to focus on host. Host, what do you say to them to get them to join? Girl, your party's at 500. That is amazing. I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but I would love to flip this party to you. You can join for free using your host credits. You'll make a $125 paycheck, and you'll also earn our shooting star kit for free, and that's $300 worth of product. Bam! Who wouldn't want to join? $125 paycheck, $300 worth of product, and I can join for free. Okay? Simple. You have to keep it simple. Now, let's say that you have customers that order from you all the time. They order from you all the time. Go to your order, go to your customer tab, and you can filter. There's a filter there that says, I think it's most orders or PRV total. You make it, ascend it to the top. That's going to show you who your best customers are by PRV total. How much have they spent with you? You're going to take that number and you're going to times it by 20%. And you're going to message your customer and say, I don't know if you've realized this, but if you were getting paid off your own orders, you would have made $500. And you would have also accumulated free and half off product credit. It's $9 to start this month. Have you ever thought about just getting paid off your own orders? Even if you don't want to sell it to anybody else, have you ever thought about getting paid off your own orders? That's talking to your best customers. Your clubbers are easy people to sponsor. Easy people to sponsor if you have Scentsy clubbers. They are already obsessed with the product. They already know the product. Tell them how much they would make off their own purchases. Now, if you're not a talker, let's say that you're just jumping into sponsoring and it's still very uncomfortable. I put a mail out in every mail that I do, every order that I do if they're local. And I tell them what they would have made off that order. It has a picture of me. It has the perks off of being a consultant. And it has a place that says, hey, you would have made this off your own order. I will share that template in this group so you can use it for yourself and you can edit for it and you can share it with your teams. It's just, I'm a reader. I love people, but I don't necessarily like to talk to people all the time. And if somebody's coming, I'm a reader. So if you're always putting something in my order and it's telling me I would have made $15 off this order, I'm going to pay attention to that because I pay attention to that. So sticking things in people's orders, always telling them what the perks are about. Sharing on social media. Sharing on social media is a scary thing, but you have to do it. Now, listen, those that know me, Chastity knows me real well. I'm no social media guru. If you go to my Instagram, I think I got like 5 posts up there, okay? But my PRV is consistently between 7 and 15,000 PRV every month. Every month. Last month, my PRV was 8,000. I don't have slow months. But if you look at my social media, it's going to be like, oh, Katie, I do some stuff in my stories and I do post on Facebook. But I'm a talker because guess what? Social media is Russian roulette. You don't know. You don't know who's seeing your post. You're just hoping they're seeing it. You're hoping they're seeing it. But guess what? They might be busy that day. Yesterday, I didn't even scroll social media. Talking to people is a direct hit. Having conversations is a direct hit. It's not Russian roulette. So if you're crunched for time, let's go on and nick that in the bud. And you need to utilize your time wisely. That means setting a timer for 15 minutes of intentional time and messaging your best customers and having conversations. Not making a reel that takes you 2 hours to do. I'm not saying that social media isn't helpful. It is very, very helpful to network and meet new people. But if you are crunched for time, you need to be having actual conversations. Okay? Actual conversations with people. So, talking to people, your best host, your best customers, following cues. If you have a customer that says, I am so obsessed with this stuff, get paid off of it. Sell me on the free stuff. That's always gets me to an event or anywhere. I'm about free stuff. You tell me I can get free and half off stuff off my own orders, bam. Every time you get an order for yourself, take a picture of your free and half off stuff and post it. People like that. They see it. They're like, damn, Katie, you getting all your stuff for free and half off? I sure do because I collect links like it's nobody's business. Chastity knows that. Listen, I go on my little shopping spree every 6 months when the catalog changes. And then I take a picture of it and I take a video of it and I post it in my stories. Not everybody joins for an income, but a lot of people like free stuff. Okay? I'll be saving my links like it's nobody's business and I cash out. You tell them when you take a picture of a warmer, you like this warmer, it's $50, but I got it for free. I got it for free. People like free. Share it. So talk to your best customers. Talk to your best hosts. Don't be scared to share what this business does for you. Listen, you might not be making thousands of dollars, and that's fine. But did you just fill up your gas tank? Did you get your nails done? Did you get your hair done? Did you pay for your daughter's father-daughter dance and shoes and ties and flowers? Share how's it done. People need that right now. People need an extra $100 and $200. So don't be bashful about sharing the perks of your business and the blessing of your business. What you might think is little. People tickle me when they get paid and they're like, my paycheck was only $200. I know a lot of people who would do some shady stuff for $200, okay? A lot of people. So share it. Share your business. Advertise your business. You are the forefront of your business. You are the face of your business. So share the fart out of it. Share what this business does for you. Share it with your customers. I It tickles me sometimes when I hear people say, "I'm so scared to talk to people about joining." You're doing them a favor. If my sponsor would have never talked to me about getting paid back off a $50 warmer, I wouldn't have been able to quit my job. And my kids wouldn't be going to the school that's 100 miles away from home. That's a good school. And I wouldn't be able to go to all my school events. So you know what, Brittany? Clapping for you because you changed my life. It's not up to you to change somebody's life. You're just giving them an opportunity. You're giving them an opportunity. They get to take it. What Eminem say? Y'all go look. Eminem's the GOAT. Eminem said, "You got one opportunity, one shot." Got one shot, one opportunity. Seize everything you ever wanted. One moment to capture or let it slip. Let them decide what they're going to do with this business. But get comfortable with giving people a gift. Stop thinking you're bothering people. "Oh, I'm so scared. Brittany, thank you for not being scared to ask me. Because you changed my life. You changed my entire life.
7 today. Perfect
So-
for a sunny Tuesday morning.
Somebody on speaker themselves. But so go into sponsoring with the mindset that you have a gift to give to people. Okay? Over and out. I went over 10 minutes. My bad. I'll be always going over my time.
We'll let you off.
We're used to it.
I
We're
know.
used to it.
Can I
love
just
it.
ask who's going to be singing Eminem all day today? If you know, put your hand
That
up.
is a millennial reference if ever you've heard one.
Right. Hello, guys. Good morning. So, great information already. I'm going to talk to you about obstacles and objections. Sorry, I lost. It's early. Okay. We had a good start yesterday, and now I'm like, ooh, okay, we're doing this. Yes. So, when you're asking people, first, congrats on asking them, right? Taking that first step to start the conversation with someone, get it going. Laura already talked about this, but going for the no. If you're getting no's, it's normal. A no is normal. If you're not getting anything, it's because you're not doing anything, right? So we want to start those conversations. We want to be asking people. Laura told you who to ask. Katie told you how to ask. And now we're going to deal with objections because when someone is talking to you, they're going to tell you no. Okay, it's a no. But if they come back with an objection, that doesn't mean they're not interested, right? That means that they're thinking about it. So the people having questions is an opportunity to connect with people. That doesn't mean no unless it is a real no. So some real life responses. Well, first let's put in the chat, what are some objections that you get when you do ask people? I have some written down with some answers, or with some responses that you can use, but what are some objections that you get when you're asking people? I don't have time. I'm too busy. Time is a huge one. I'm scared of what people will think. They're not confident. I don't know enough people. I'm too shy. I don't want to sell anything. I don't know who would buy. Yes, all of it. Perfect. Y'all are just lining me right up this morning. I love it. Real life responses for things like I'm too busy. I get that one a lot. I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. Here's a response for that. Totally get that. That's actually why a lot of us started. You can do this part-time. I'm too busy. Another one you can give is I totally understand. The busiest people make the best consultants. And I truly believe that because people will find time for what's important to them. And people who are busy stay busy, right? The people who aren't sitting on their couch, no offense, but binging Netflix, or they're sitting around not doing anything. Those are usually the people that aren't successful. Let's be honest, right? The people that are showing up, the people that are always doing, always going, time crunching, figuring out where they can put more make more happen in the day, those are usually the most successful people, right? So sharing that you also are busy. Busy is a choice too. So let's focus on what we're going to be busy in. So I'm too busy. That's not a no. That's not I can't do this. That is a I don't know where I would fit that in, right? So having the conversation with them to figure out what's the answer to that? How can Cincy fit into their busy schedule? Another one is I don't know enough people. I will always say that friends and family are what helped me get started in this business. But now my business is made up of strangers. My customer base is strangers. They're not my friend. I do have friends and family that are my customers, but the bulk of it are people that I met through this business. They always say a stranger will support you and love on you more than your friends and family in a business, and it is so true, guys. So, an answer to I don't know enough people is neither did I. We're going to teach you how to find people. We're going to teach you how to network. We teach you how to grow your business in Cincy. Um, Not knowing enough people, well, guess what? You're about to meet a lot of people with this business, right? So, again, that's another answer with them not knowing enough people. If you're just selling to your friends and family, then you don't have a business. You have a hobby, and that's okay too. Maybe they do want to just join for their friend to sell to their friends and family. That's a different objection, right? I'm not salesy or I'm not good at sales. I'm not either. That's always my response. I'm not either. Because this isn't about being salesy. We don't have to be salesy in Cincy. We get to just share what we love. And that's the answer. Perfect. This isn't about being salesy. It's about sharing what you love. Usually when you're talking to people about the opportunity, they already have a foot in the door with Cincy. They're either a customer, they're either a host, they've experienced the product in some ways, and you really are just sharing. If you are feeling salesy in your business, this is what I always tell my team. If you're feeling salesy, you probably are salesy, and we need to readjust how we're sharing that. Another one I get is there's so many consultants already in my area, or it's over saturated where I live. And I love using well, there's a few examples, but there are so many people in Cincy, not gonna lie. But how we all work our business is totally different, okay? And that's what I always tell them. Our team is mostly in North Carolina, and my top producers all live within like 5 miles of each other. And they all have their own customer base. And yes, they still know some of the same people. But again, this business itself is an opportunity to grow your network. So they have customers not only in their small town, but it's also all over the US, and that's the perk of social media. Is being able to grow your business outside of where you live. And so when someone says, oh, it's oversaturated, or there's already consultants, my answer is everyone works their business differently. And there's so much opportunity. There are billions of people in this world. We're not going to let our small town stop us from growing and doing something bigger for us. Some of the other ones I see on here is I tried direct sales before. It didn't work. I can relate to that. I've done 2 other direct sales before Cincy, and you're right, it didn't work. But when I found where my passion is, and I can also give you a few, and this is where that education comes in with our business, why Cincy is different than a lot of direct sales is because everyone loves fragrance. Well, you either love it or you don't, let's be real. If they love fragrance, we're going to talk to them. If they don't, then Cincy isn't for them, right? But we don't have to, again, we don't have to try to talk someone into loving what we offer. We have something for everyone, and if they love fragrance, then we have something for them. Let's see. Where did that comment go? I just lost it. Okay, I tried direct sales. We have a consumable product, right? So we have product that people are going to have to come back to get a refill for. That is a huge one. That's actually a reason that I chose Cincy, because the other 2 direct sales I did were not a consumable product. And I found in time why that didn't work for me. There was not room for growth. there are so many objections that you're going to come across. And honestly, I will say if you're in a conversation with someone and you're not sure what to say to them, use ChatGPT and say, "Hey, I'm having this joint conversation. This is the response they just gave me. What are some responses I can send back?" And then I'm not going to tell you to copy and paste because I don't want you to from ChatGPT. I want you to then make it sound like you. ChatGPT sometimes is going to teach you how to talk to people. Sponsoring is a learnable skill that you can learn how to do, and you're going to get better as you do it. Just know that the no's and the objections are normal, and just figuring out how to have that conversation with people and how to talk to people to then get them to say yes or yes eventually is obviously the goal, right? So just make sure that whenever you're talking to someone about it, unless they literally say the two-letter word no, then it's not a no. So keep having that conversation with them and keep the convos going. And that's all I got.
Oh, love, love, love.
Love it.
All right, let me put me on here. Hello. Right, I'm going to finish this off. So I'm going to talk to you about your objections first. I'm going to talk to you about things that you've probably said, and I'd love you to comment in the comments if you've had if these things have gone through your mind. So some of this might sort of lap onto some of the things that the girls have said, but also things that we covered yesterday. So how many of you have said, I just don't think I know enough information to be a sponsor? Objections come from, believe it or not, us as well as our teamies. And quite often, I'm being nice calling them objections, but really they're excuses, guys, right? That's the tough love in me. I'm gonna just say the tough love, but really they're excuses. It's an excuse not to do, right? And sometimes we've got to be able to recognize that we're making these objections ourselves, that we're saying things like, "Oh, I just don't think I know enough." I'm going to be honest. Like, I sponsored my first person in the first 10 days of joining Sensi. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm this, and Laura can vouch for this. I had never bought a Sensi product.
Best teamie ever.
I didn't think I was ever going to build a business. I remember saying to my husband, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to have a team or do any of that stuff. Like, ugh, don't want to do that." Hello, I sponsored someone in 10 days, completely by accident. I will say that. I knew nothing. I didn't know anything about the kits. I don't think I even had my kit in my physical hands when I signed up my first team member. Okay. And that should be telling you, if you are saying things like, "I just don't think I know enough," you've got to stop that. That's an objection for yourself, and you're putting a hurdle in your own way before you've even started. And this is something that's in your control because you have got every bit of information that you need at your fingertips. You've got this training for starters over the next 10 days, which is going to give you everything you need. But on your workstation, you've also got all the information. You've got the information about the kits. You also went through this yourself. You was somebody that, you would have gone for shooting star, sensational start levels. Maybe, you're a certified consultant. Maybe you're a star consultant. So you've worked the way through the ranks. You've got an idea how it starts. And even if you're here in like your first week of selling Sensi, there's never a right time to start sponsoring someone. It honestly doesn't matter. You can learn at the same time as somebody else. I have a girl who's literally signed up. I'm having a call with her today. She signed up yesterday, and her friend is also going to sign up with her. She's going to sign up underneath her, and I'm going to train them both at the same time. I'm not going to say to her, "Well, you sponsored her, so you've got to train her." No, I'm going to train them both at the same time. That just makes life easy, right? Two birds with one stone. I'm going to make things easy for myself. There is never a right time to sponsor. There is never a right time to, find a teamie. You're never going to know enough because this business evolves every day. This business changes every day. I don't think I've ever had a month. I mean, if you didn't work out by the comments yesterday, I'm a wing it queen. Everything that I do is pretty much like, I'm type B. So I am very much like, everything is a bit crazy here. I'm winging it by the seat of my pants. However, it doesn't impact the success of my business on a monthly basis. I don't have set routines where I do everything on set days. I try to a little bit, but it doesn't work like that. So if you are waiting for you to have the perfect business, you're waiting for the perfect amount of PRV, you're waiting for the perfect amount of knowledge, for your confidence to be at a certain level, you've got to stop. You've got to stop that right now because you are never ever going to be in that 100% right position where you go, do you know what? Today I am waking up and I feel ready to sponsor. It just doesn't happen like that. You actually get more confident with the more people that you sponsor, the more times you do it, the more times you go for that no, the more conversations you have, and you will get more confident every single person that you sponsor. And I think that's when some people say to me, but I sponsored 3 people. They all did nothing. So I'm not going to sponsor anymore. Well, do you know what? Sometimes you've got to sponsor 20, 30 people before you find that one that actually wants to work like you do. And that's me being honest. It used to be, if I'm honest, I think when I first started, probably 1 in 10. Now you're probably looking at like 1 in 20, maybe more. And that's me being honest. You've just got to get out there and have the numbers of the conversations. There's a really good saying as well that one of my directors has trained on quite a lot, and it's better done than perfect from Nicola Wilson. And that very much is you've just got to have those conversations. You've just got to get them out there, and you've got to, don't be worrying about it being a perfect situation. You're never going to have the perfect team group, the perfect team chat. It's just a case of you're just creating more obstacles for you not to be able to do the thing, which is have the conversations. Um, if you are also sort of saying, I don't know if I've got time for a team, in all honesty, you need to have enough time to be able to train somebody. I do think that's really, really important. Like, I am a firm believer in signing somebody up and just leaving them to it is like a big no-no in my book. Like, you've got to treat somebody, like Katie said, how you want to be treated, in the same way of reaching out and having a conversation, but also if they say yes and they join your team, you need to be able to give them time to be able to answer their questions. However, I am also a firm believer of creating independent team members, in that you don't need to, give them all the information, because they have access to the same information that you do. They have access to the same directors, superstar directors, trainings, team groups, all consultant groups, family consultant groups, image sharing groups. Honestly, the list is endless. The resources at our fingertips right now are endless. And I look back at what we had when we first joined, and it was a much smaller amount. And I know there are people that joined, when that have been here 20 years, and they didn't even have Facebook. So I'm like, how did they make it work? I'm like, where did they get all their resources? Where did they didn't even have a workstation. That wasn't even a thing. So we are very, very lucky in the tools that we've got. You will never have enough. You're never going to feel ready. You just need to recognize that you're making excuses to actually doing the thing, because it's hard. And this isn't an easy thing. Sponsoring is not easy. We've got to put our big girl pants on, pull up our big girl pants. We've got to put our brave face on and get out there and have the conversations. But like Katie said, it's about keeping it simple and recognizing that you're doing those things. I've been there. I've been where you guys are, where sometimes I think to myself, oh, I really should ask that customer to join. She's spent quite a lot of money. And I'm having those conversations with myself in my head. Oh, I'll put it off. I'll do it another day. Oh, add that to my list for tomorrow. Just get the conversation done, guys. Just rip the plaster off and get out there and put yourself out there and have the conversation. Keep it super simple, and recognize that you're making these excuses, if you like, to be able to push forward. Because honestly, that's the game. That's where things start to change. That's where, like, the game changes, in my opinion, when you can see that you're doing that. I don't know who to ask, obviously, big question, but Katie covered that. Like, you now know who to ask. So now it's your list that you're writing, and I'm going to come on to that in a minute, with your homework tasks, should be getting really nice and thick and full. Hopefully, all of you, if you showed up to yesterday, you've started to make a list of people that you want to connect with, people that you would call like the dream teammate. And I want you to add people on that list that maybe you don't even, you think you're already doing the assuming, saying they are never going to join, but I am going to add them on that list. And I want you to put those people on there. Make that list like your magical unicorn list, that if they join, they're going to be your one that changes your business. Like Whitney talked about yesterday. Because they're going to be your people when we're saying find 5 people to go and have a conversation with. You've got that list to go back to. And that's what I'm gonna lead into today as part of your homework. And I'm just gonna elaborate on this a little bit more. So your homework today, or your challenge for today, is to connect with 5 people on your list. And that word connect is a really important word in our business. Connecting with customers, connecting with people, relationship building, like Katie talked about. It doesn't always have to be like a big social media thing, because we just don't know who's seeing our posts anymore. Facebook is making things really, really difficult, in my opinion. Instagram is just like an absolute minefield, and TikTok, that's just another beast altogether, right? So what are we left with? One-to-one conversations, guys. It's where, honestly, it's where all of my sponsoring conversations happen. When people say to me, TikTok is the dumpster fire. True. Agreed. I don't really get it. I'm not gonna lie. It's tough out there. But honestly, the conversations that you're having, the real gold conversations, is going to be plucking up your courage, being brave, and putting yourself out there to have those one-to-one conversations. We can all do a post. Like Laura and I trained last night on a Spark session about bringing back and reinstating old customers. And I shared about a post that I have pinned to the very top of my Facebook. You're welcome to go and have a nosy at it, which has actually brought me lots of conversations this week, like lots of conversations. 2 reinstatements have actually signed up, and lots of conversations. However, the strength in the numbers behind that, the actual real one-to-one conversations that I'm having happening behind closed doors, the people that I think are going to be, the game changer, the real difference, the people, not saying that those people won't be a difference, but I mean the people that are brand new, those people that are my customers, they're not going by a post on my social media. They're coming to me because I'm asking them. I'm having conversations. So this is what we want you to do. We want you to connect with 5 people. What does that mean? It means connecting, getting out there and actually talking to them, commenting on their. So I connect with things like this. So my customer, I'm just going to take Helen, for example. She said to me, when candles come, I will probably join your team because I think my friends and family will go for candles. Okay, that's now, if you don't know, in the UK we've only just got candles. They come literally at the beginning of March. So it's all been very exciting, like having this new product to launch. Obviously, she has bought a candle. So that was my first connection point with her, making sure that she actually gets the product that could be the game changer for her. I have seen this week she's been on holiday. She's been away. So my connection with her is not going to be, hey, Helen, you've had a candle. What do you think? Do you want to join? My connection with her is going to be in her inbox. Hey, Helen, how are you? How was your holiday? I see you went to, I can't remember where she went, the Lake District, I think it was. Did you have a nice time? Your pictures look absolutely amazing. That is connection. That's where vacation. Sorry, guys, it's not Christmas. That is where connection happens. Okay, that's where I am having those real connections where I'm getting to know somebody, and actually that trust is coming. We're having that before I go straight in with so you've got a candle now, you're going to join my team, because nobody wants that. You don't want that. You want to be treated like a human being, right? I know how I felt when I have been on Instagram and I open my inbox and I see it. This is what happens, right? I get 3 likes on my post from somebody in another network marketing company, and there is a certain network marketing company that it happens on the daily. The next thing I get an inbox, hey Lisa, I love your content. Have you ever considered making money from this particular company? Normally it's to do with travel. And have you ever considered making money from travel, or doing something like this? You'd be brilliant at it. That isn't connection. For me, that is spammy pammy. Okay. Whether they know me or whether they don't, I want somebody to feel like they actually know me, to have actually have a look at what I'm doing on social media. And if they don't put a lot on their social media, then you've got the hard work to do to actually be in their inbox. Yes, Pamela, she's out, not our best friend. She's a no-go. She's not allowed here. I want somebody to actually get to know me on a personal level before they ask me if I want to join. And don't get me wrong, somebody ordering from me £100 worth of Scentsy, that's a conversation straight away. I can roll off that. I can be like, oh my gosh, like, Sarah, you've just spent £100 on Scentsy. You so should be doing this. That's a natural conversation. But if you're going to connect with people, you're going to grow these connections with these people on your list of potential team members, your unicorns, you've got to find a way to connect with them that's not just about Scentsy. Okay, you've got to find a way that is human. And I think that's really important right now, especially with the world of AI that we're in. And like there was a woman that I'm chatting away to at the minute on Instagram, and genuinely, I can't work out the messages that she's sending me if I'm talking to a bot or not. And it's very like her questioning is very much like she's ending every conversation with her. So, what made you like CrossFit? I feel like I'm having a therapy session with her. I'm not going to lie, her messages are quite long. And today I felt a little bit like I've just gone in and said, so I'm just going to ask you, have you ever tried Scentsy? I thought I need to change this conversation line. But by now we've gone back and forth. We've had quite a lot of messages. So that's part of your homework today, is to really connect with 5 people from your list. Who knows, the conversation may spark where you feel confident and comfortable enough to just, once we're going back and forth, we're in a conversation, you might want to drop it in there. Hey, have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you, there might be a natural opener where they say to you, do you know what? I've been meaning to message you. I need to order 6 bars of wax. I'm getting low. I need to order. Well, have you ever considered joining it? The conversation's now open. Okay. Once it's open, you've got your in, but make sure it's real conversation, and we're really aiming to that way to connect. One of the things I always remember is when I used to work for Virgin Gym back in the day, they used to split our our day into 4-hourly. It was a 4-hour session, and it was like you got given 4 hours of chunky things. So one was like cleaning, one was actually writing training programs for people. But we always had an hour that was in our 4 hours that was called connection. And they wanted us to go around the gym and to have real conversations with people. How are you getting on with your training? How are you doing with your, did you have a nice holiday? I haven't seen you for a week. Is everything okay? Have you been injured? Oh, I've seen you doing you get where I'm going with this. So it's the same thing, guys. Spend some time actually physically connecting with people and being human, because honestly, that will be a game changer for your business. That's what I've got for you today. Does anyone else want to add anything on there? And have we got any questions? No. We're all good? All good? Laura, did you want to add anything? I was just sitting here in my kitchen.
I think just when we were chatting and saying about like too many consultants in the area, obviously what was an objection, I went to type and then realised I was obviously on Lisa's laptop while you were speaking. But Lisa and I lived like 10 minutes from one another. And we both have sponsored superstar directors that also live. So there was a point where there were 5 superstar directors literally within like a 10-minute radius. Like, not even exaggerating, we were literally on each other's doorsteps.
We spent a lot of time together.
We spent a lot of time together. So what that tells you, that if we can all build a business, 5 of us, one of them was Lisa's sister-in-law, so in the same family, and Tanya, and she built a superstar director as well. If 5 of us in literally a 10-minute radius can all build a business to that level, there are never too many consultants. People know people who know people who know people. So don't ever let that be something that you worry about, because it is totally, totally possible.
And the time is ours, guys. The time is now to like build. It is
absolutely.
It's there for the taking. It's now just time to realize the obstacles that you are setting in your own way, and let's get out there and start having these conversations and connecting with people.
Yeah, get out your own way, right? Start standing your own way.
Absolutely. Right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, bright and early. Thank you all so much for joining us and for giving up your time. Honestly, it's like we're very grateful. Laura and I will be on the road tomorrow because we are on the way to our leadership.
So we'll be at a service station.
Hopefully with signal, fingers crossed. So if not, it'll be Whit and Katie taking the stage. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.